Teacher Bestie, can I tell you the biggest mistake I see teachers make before the new school year? Like all the time, me included. We spend all of our energy preparing our classroom, our lessons, the bulletin boards, the supplies, but we don't take the same amount of time or even nearly any time to prepare the person who is going to carry all of it. Then 3 weeks into the school year, we're exhausted, overwhelmed, wondering why we feel the way that we feel. So today I want to share with you a reset I think that every teacher needs before the first bell rings. Keep watching. Hey besties, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to Keeping It Teacherish. If you're new, I'm Patrice, and this channel is all about helping teachers create classrooms that are intentional, peaceful, and practical, okay? And if you've watched my last back to school video, then you already know that we've talked about taking time to reflect before jumping into preparation. So important. But today I want to get even more practical because I want you to think about the actual teacher you want to be when your students walk through the door. Now, not the perfect teacher, not the Pinterest ready teacher, right? The teacher who will actually walk through the door and the teacher who can actually sustain the year. So the first thing I think we have to talk about is have to stop preparing for day 1 and start preparing for day 100. One thing I've learned after years of teaching and, of course, being in the classroom is that we often prepare for the first day, but we don't prepare for the reality of October. This is so like all the time. Think about it. We prepare for the wedding day, but we often don't prepare for the things that are down the road, right? And so here we are after year 1 or 6 months into marriage, and we're wondering, who is this person that I'm marrying? Same way here. We prepare so well for day 1 that we don't look forward to day 100. So when I say that, this is what I mean. We're preparing our classroom setup, right? We're preparing the first week activities, our procedures, those kind of things. But have we actually prepared for the student who needs extra support every day? Have we actually taken time or taken into account the busy mornings when we're running late and you don't have time to do whatever it is you have planned in your magical world that's going to happen every morning? What about those lesson plans that don't go as expected? And the moment when our energy starts dropping and you need a teacher work day or even an off day, whatever, right? The goal isn't just to survive the first week beautifully. I mean, and we want to, don't get me wrong. But the goal is to create systems and habits that support you months down the road. Does that make sense? A couple of practical questions that I've even asked myself. Before school starts, you have to answer these questions. Number one, what do I want my mornings to feel like? And that's not just getting in the classroom. That's how do you want your morning to feel when you wake up in the morning before you even begin your journey to school? And then also, how do you need to set up the morning so that you can have that type of morning and have a good day once you get to school? Question number two is, what is one thing I can simplify? In a perfect world, you're going to get up on time every day. Everything is going to work perfectly. Everything is magical, right? But realistically, if we take a few moments, what's one thing that I can simplify? And then lastly, question three is, what is one expectation I need to set for myself? Uh, as a recovering perfectionist, I think we definitely need to make sure that we're being realistic with the expectation, right? What's one expectation that I need to set for myself? I think these questions are important because you have to decide who you're going to be, but also in doing that, we have to decide what you are no longer carrying. And I think answering those questions actually give us clarity. And so we actually understand what to do next, right? Because every school year we carry things from the previous year that we were never meant to carry. For example, it might be guilt over a student you couldn't reach or someone that didn't do well, right? Or comparing yourself to the other teacher who, I don't want to talk about that. Let's keep going. Or feeling like you weren't organized enough, or thinking that you are thinking that you have to say yes to everything. The list goes on of all the things. But the reality is reflection is powerful. But Reflection should lead to growth, not guilt. And so I'm not saying that we need to reflect and we need to take time to think these things through to beat ourselves up, but I really believe that we cannot adequately grow if we don't understand where are the areas that we came up short, why did we come up short, and if those are areas that we even need to be measuring, to be honest. So I want you to take what you learn, leave what is weighing you down, and let's move in progress, okay? Okay, so an example of what you may find out during your reflection time. You may say that last year transitions were terrible in my classroom. So I need to work on stronger routines. I need something that's something that I need to improve on, right? Is how do I want them to move around the room? Another example may be I don't want to carry the thought that I'm not a good enough teacher because transitions were hard, right? So you see that they're similar but two very different things. On one hand, we're saying, hey, I need to build stronger routines so this can go better, stronger systems, right? The other hand is I am taking the guilt and I am taking the shame over the fact that my transitions did not go well. And that's two separate things. That's two different things. The next thing is we have to create non-negotiables. Listen to me. You have to create non negotiables, okay? So before the school year even begins, you have to decide your non negotiables. What does that mean, Patrice? These are the things that protect your peace. And these are the things, this is the line, okay? And so an example of that may be my classroom has clear routines, right? That's a non-negotiable. So if I have to spend the first 3 days talking about routines, finding games and all the things so that routines go well in my room, here we are. We're not studying we're not starting the curriculum until week 2. That's a non-negotiable, right? Another example is I will communicate with families before there is a problem. And we're going to talk about parent communication because I think that is important so you can get the backing and the buy-in of parents. It is very important as a teacher because this is a partnership, okay? And I understand all parents are not going to be helpful, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, a lot of parents do want what's best for their children. That's just the reality. We'll leave it at that. We can hash it out later. Okay. Another example that I have written down, I want to stay on track, is that I will prioritize relationships with my students. So that means that instead of running on to the next lesson or instead of rushing a student in conversation, I actually stay present in the moment and get to know this child. Because the truth is, every yes that you give to something is a no to something else. And so if I am prioritizing relationship with students, and that means I'm saying no to rushing, I'm saying no to moving on, but I am saying yes to staying present in this moment. And so those non-negotiables are very important. I think it's easier for you to set up those non-negotiables once you are able to think through what kind of teacher I want to be, what am I leaving behind, and then the non-negotiables become a little clearer. Does that make sense? This is exactly why I created my rest, renew, and reset guide. Listen, I am just like you, right? And so I want other teachers to have a simple way to reflect on the previous year without running into all the things that went wrong, right? Because that's easy to do. It's easy to identify all the things that went wrong. But I also want us to be able to identify in a healthy manner what we want to change. And then also to walk into the school year with intention instead of just reacting. What usually happens is a teacher has a bad year or something does not go as planned. We self correct, right, to an extreme measure, and then something else falls through. And it's cyclical behavior as opposed to let's identify what did not go well. Why did that not go well? Is that actually even important to the actual teacher that I want to present or who I want to be in my classroom? And also, what's the overall goal? What do I want my kids to leave with? Because all of that will shape what we do in the interim or during the year. Okay. So I said a lot of that. I said all of that to say this rest, renew, and reset guide is for you. And it's not about creating a perfect year, right? That's not at all what I'm saying or trying to, sell you or say to you at all. I do want to help you create a peaceful and more purposeful year. I think you will find that much more fulfilling. And I feel like it will actually be a little just a smidget easier, right? When you're able to really walk in and flow in what you feel and what the Lord has called you to do in this classroom. So, all that said, teacher bestie, before you start setting up your classroom, I want you to answer this one question. What kind of teacher do you want to be when things get hard? Like what's your takeaway? What do you want the kids to take away and to remember you as? The kind of teacher that you want to be when things get hard. Drop your answer in the comments because you know your girl loves to read. Loves. Because you know your girl love the comments, okay? But I truly believe that the best classrooms start with intentional teachers and with teachers who have identified who they want to be and most importantly, what they want their children to leave with. And so as always, I've enjoyed you. I hope this has been meaningful for you. I just believe that you have gotten more practical tools and questions to leave with and to work with. If you want to go deeper, because we besties like that, I've got your back. Go ahead and check out the freebie. For those of you who are ready, listen, I've got a whole guide, a whole worksheet that goes even deeper into rest, renew, and reset, right? I don't want you to have to try to figure out how do I do these things on my own. Girl, hey, we're in this together. I got your back. Okay, so you can get the bestie price right over here. I've attached that as well. And I want you to know, along with that guide, I have, you're going to love this. Okay. I have a little reset card for you that is a printable. You can make it a poster. You can put it, stick it to your mirror in your bathroom, whatever, right? Something encouraging for you. And also, there's a little special audio just for you to help you along the journey. I've enjoyed you. I hope you had a good time with me. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. What are we doing, right? Like, share, and I'll see you next time in the next video where I'm going to be telling you about what I'm enhancing this year instead of starting over because your girl ain't got time for that. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.